Hello and welcome to another episode of the Best You interview series. It's Gary here again. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me today. And today I'm delighted to be joined by certified business strategist and online business coach, Jeanne Omlor, who is here to discuss her coaching journey and the story of perseverance that has enabled her to work with executive coaches and icons. Jeanne helps her clients operate at their ultimate potential and performance and helps them maximize their profits while being the visionary that they are destined to be. Jeanne's clients have something in common. They're all smart, they're all go-getters, and they all want to fulfill their ultimate potential. She helps them scale their business and get to their unimagined prosperity, heightened productivity, and lead their lives with integrity. For over 12 years, she has helped all types of business clients scale and has also worked as an executive coach and high-level CEO. However, it was only in the last 5 years that she managed to scale her business to multi-millions by getting online and helping coaches, consultants, and service providers scale sustainable businesses and doing what they love. As a 50-something solo parent, and I absolutely love that term, solo parent, in deep debt, Jeanne managed to crack the code of organic marketing and what she refers to as beyond mindset, turn their life around and inspire others to live the lives that they really want with the business that they really want. Jeanne, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Great to be here, Gary.
I'm so delighted. So firstly, tell me a bit about your career and your life journey that brought you to the current calling of business strategist and online business coach. It's a very, very interesting journey.
Thank you. Well, I started off generally coaching all businesses for about 8 years. And I also coach teams because I'm an executive leadership coach as well. And then I realized that the marketing of being out there and networking in person, it's very limited. Just if you look at the numbers, how many people can you meet? How many people can you follow up with? So 5 years ago, I was in deep debt after stuff happening. And I realized I needed to learn how to get clients from just sitting with my computer in my home because it just wasn't bringing in enough clients. So I figured out how to get clients online with no ads. And I specialize actually in helping coaches, consultants, and certain service providers with this particular offer. So I started learning how to do that. And everybody was like, well, how are you doing this? Can you help me? So we built that company up. I got to $1 million in 17 months helping coaches and consultants to do this. And that was 5 years ago. So we're at several million now, and I have a small team. So that's how I got into it. I also have a very elite offer, which has nothing to do with the marketing, which is for top CEOs, icons, and minor celebrities to help them like sort their lives out, whether it's their teams or leadership or personal or life purpose. So I call that my fixing thing, that they're helping them fix themselves. So that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, I just was in deep debt and I thought I got to figure this stuff out. And I did. And we've helped about 500 people with that coach consultant offer.
That's incredible. And so that feels to me like a story of perseverance. You know, you're thinking, I am helping, I am impacting, I am making a difference. How do I scale this? How do I actually make this into a business where I can sustain it to go forward? What did you feel like was the initial calling where you're saying, people here need my help. I'm going to persevere to get to where I need to get to?
Okay, so the first people that needed my help were my daughters. Let's be real. Right. That was, we all need to support ourselves and our families if we have a family. So my major motivation at first was, I've got to help myself. So that's just being real. And, we're all lying if we pretend that it's all about impact. Of course, it's not all about impact. It's about also, we have to survive and we have to support ourselves. So I'm not going to say, no, it was all about impact, because it wasn't at first. Yes, of course, I'm always wanting to help people and make money from it. But as time goes on, after the first million, if you don't have real purpose in what you're doing, you won't make it to the second million. because it's just meaningless. So I had no problem with that, because while I was helping people, I am driven and I'm emotionally connected to helping other people to thrive, because I did not thrive for a lot of my life. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So that is very, very motivating for me as my life purpose, to help as many people on this earth to thrive, and not just the coaches and not just the high-end people, but I'm trying to develop other ways of helping all people to thrive. So that's also my passion, is trying to figure out other programs or other ways of making people that aren't even coaches or CEOs to thrive. So this is in my makeup now, which came from my life, which is beautiful, because I wasn't thriving. It's not good. It's not fun. How do I help other people not be in that? And what's good about me is I know what that is not to eat. I know what that is to actually have no money. So people can never say, "Oh, well, you don't know, Jeanne, what that's like." I do know what that's like. And I think that's the gold in somebody like me, is that I wasn't always doing well.
Mhm.
So then I can show the people, that's okay. I wasn't doing well. You're not. That's okay. I was older. I was 54 and a solo parent. So they can't say, "Oh, well, you have a husband supporting you." There was no support, no child support even. So it gets rid of all the objections in people's minds, because they can't say, "Oh, well, that thing of, oh, well, that's because that's easy for you to say," because it's not easy for me to say, because deep debt, 54, which is no joke, having no assets when you're 54 with 2 children, no income really, and in debt. I mean, can it get much worse? Probably not. Well, it could get worse. I was not ill. I was in good health. So it could get a lot worse. However, I didn't have 5 kids, I only had 2. So it can get a lot worse. But still, it's showing people, older, solo parent, no money coming in, no support whatsoever, in deep debt. She did it. So can you. And this is very heartening for people. And this is why the message works. And I'm glad that I was in that situation, because there is no way people can make excuses for themselves if they're not in a worse situation than me. Does that make sense? Because then it's like, well, wait a minute. You have a job. Your wife has a job. You're not in deep debt. What's your problem? Or you are in a little bit of debt. Okay. But you still have some, you own your house, or you have some investments or something, some retirement. So when people go, "Oh, I'm in such a bad," I go, "Really? You have no money?" "Oh, I have some money." "You in deep debt?" "Oh, no, I'm not in deep debt." "Do you have a job?" "Oh, I have a job." What's the problem then? You just can't start your business. People make their problems way bigger than they really are.
Yeah. And do you find that where the problem inside their head, when they start to talk to you about it as their executive coach, does it, not to ridicule the client, I don't mean that, but did you get the situation where when they say it out loud and they kind of go, actually, that's the first time I've said that as a person, and it's not actually that bad. I don't mean to downplay anyone's issues or problems at all, but do you find that when you get to that spot with a client?
So first of all, this is not executive coaching. I got to really clarify, because there was some confusion. So this is not executive coaching. This is business coaching and marketing coaching for coaches and consultants to get high ticket clients online without ads. There's no executive coaching going on here. That's the higher level. Okay. So we're talking about the coaches now. All right. So it's not executive coaching, because I think there'll be some confusion with your market. So business marketing coaching. And the answer is yes. Some people say, "Oh, well, after hearing your story, you're right. What is going on?" Then they go, "Well, yeah, I actually have very good credit score. I have a job. My wife has a job. We're not in debt, maybe some student debt, which is different. So, the only problem is I don't want to use my credit card." That's kind of like in their minds huge, right? So then no, some people do say, "Oh, yeah, I get it. You're right." Actually, yesterday a guy said that. He said, "Oh, so are you in deep debt?" Well, no, no. Okay. And he goes, "No, we actually own our house." "And do you have some investments?" He goes, "Mm-hmm." I said, "So then what was this big problem you have?" He didn't know what to say. He said, "I see what you're saying."
Yeah, and it's so powerful. It's almost the power of the stop. isn't it? Where
Mm,
you say, like, just stop for 1 second, get the stuff outside, and let's talk about whether that's actually a thing or it's not.
mm, mm,
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, it depends on the particular type of person. So, organic marketing, I mentioned that on your bio, and you and I chatted about this
mm.
before. What does organic marketing mean to you, Jeanne?
Okay, so there's two types of marketing: paid, which is running ads, or even paying somebody for SEO is not organic because you just paid for that SEO, right?
Yeah,
Um, or unpaid. So organic is the unpaid part. It is, you're not paying anybody, you're just using social media as you're allowed to for free.
yeah,
So now if you're on LinkedIn and you're paying $97 for Sales Navigator, it's still organic because that's just a tool. All right. It's not
yeah,
paying for ads. So it is using social media for free to get clients. Now, when I figured out that you could even do this, the penny dropped. And I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. I can go get clients without spending money on ads. That was a revelation. I didn't even know that was possible. So when
yeah,
that met my brain, I thought, okay, I'm going to be the best person at this. I can do this. I can talk to people. I can do this. I'm going to be the best person at this. And I did become one of the best people at it. And I'm going to also teach other people how to do this. Now, subsequently, I did test ads to the tune of $90,000.
oh,
All
wow,
sorts of ads,
yeah,
all different styles. They did not work well. So now when people go, oh, I'm just going to run ads, I say, are you sure? Because I tested ads over 4 years. They did not work well. It was a lot of work, money, time, energy. Got a couple clients, not great clients. They weren't sticky, like when you speak with them.
yeah,
It's not. And then they say, got it. I'm not doing that. So I feel also I can use my experience of saying, I've tried that and that didn't work. Are you sure you want to try it? Then they say, no, I don't. Thank you for telling me. Because a lot
yeah,
of people, a lot of coaches are still being sold this idea that ads are working by the digital marketers. We all know they don't work unless you're a famous coach like Grant Cardone, then they work. But for people that don't have millions of dollars in budget or are not well known, ads for coaches do not work. They just
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
So they're then thanking me for saving them the time, money, energy, and heartache of pouring money down a drain because they do not work. But a lot of the digital marketers won't tell them that. They'll take the money.
yeah. And what was the pinnacle moment for you where you went from the old version of Jeanne to the new version of Jeanne, where you're kind of like, wait a second, the data says this, the marketers say that, and this is actually genuinely what works. Was there that one moment where you thought, oh right, okay,
Well, I had plunked down 10K on 3 different credit cards when I said I was going to go online, and I just went into this program, and they were supposed to teach me Facebook ads because I didn't
mm,
know any better. And I knew it wasn't going to be a great program, but my thing is nothing is perfect. And
yeah,
I was not going to waste a year doing due diligence on finding the exact perfect, because that's not the way life works. You just take action and you make lemonade with lemons. So I already knew it wasn't
yeah,
going to be a perfect thing, but I needed to just choose any program just to get my foot in the door. That was
mm,
my goal. It wasn't to hire a coaching program and then complain if it's not perfect, which is what a lot of people do.
right,
I had no time for that. I thought, okay, I know it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get me online with a bunch of other people that have also paid 10K. So at least
yeah,
I'll be in a community. Go online. Wasn't a great program at all. And they were supposed to teach us ads. And I figured right away, this was not going to work because this isn't going to work for me. They said, oh, we know that. I said, yet I just paid you 10K. So what are we going to do here? They said, you have to do organic. And I didn't know what that meant. And I said, what, like carrots? What do you mean organic? And they said, no, not like carrots. I said, what is this? Where's the trainings? Oh, we don't have any trainings on that. I said, okay. So what do I do? They said, just go talk to people. That was the coaching.
wow,
And I thought, okay, that's the coaching. Lemonades with lemons. I'm just going to be the best person at talking to people, and I'm going to figure this out myself. So I
yeah,
went out and I started conversations with 900 people on Facebook, just talking to all sorts of business people. And in that period, I realized that coaches really need help. That was not that I didn't just decide on it. I was talking and a lot of them, I thought, whoa, they don't know how to get business. Whoa, they really have no idea. So that's when I thought, whoa, oh, that's my market. Other coaches and consultants. Because I had coached some coaches and consultants in my mix of all business people for the 8 years previous to this being online. And I thought they really need my help. And it's a big market where they're all suffering. A lot of coaches don't know how to get clients. So that, and also service providers like website companies or digital marketers. My very first client actually was a website consultant. And he said, have you done this before? I said, nope, you'd be my first client for this. And he said, wow, I love that you did not make up some fake testimonial and lie to me. I said, I would never do that. He said, well, you got me, so I'm hiring you. And then that was the beginning. And I thought, whoa. And then I got 2 more people like right away that same week. And I thought, that was the moment. Bingo. This is a good offer. And people really need this. No nonsense, no time wasting, no building funnels and all of that. They hate that. And that doesn't work anyway. It's just a distraction of time, money, energy. And then I just started getting a flood of clients. Yeah. And I got to $1 million in 17 months. In between that time, a few months after the first clients, just like 7 months after, COVID started. Right. So I was already halfway to my first $1 million. And then COVID did not hurt me at all. Yeah. Because they really, really needed to get online. So I was going well. I don't think COVID made any difference. I think I just went on as I would have.
Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of organic marketing, if anybody out there was to Google organic marketing or use it on their AI tool or whatever it is, it's still kind of vague. It's almost like, it depends what you're doing, depends who you're trying to do it for. What does that mean? What does organic marketing mean to Jeanne?
Okay. There's organic social media marketing. That's what I call it. So that means organic social media marketing. That means using any social media platform to get clients. So we coach on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. 3 different, you have to know them all. So we know, because I started on Facebook, then I learned LinkedIn years ago, and then Instagram also. But I did one and I mastered, and then we have 3 now because I figured out all coaches and consultants can be successful on 1, 2, or all 3 of those. So everybody, there's something for everyone. Like if you're an executive coach, you should for sure be on LinkedIn, not on Instagram, right? So it's organic social media marketing is getting clients on social media without running ads. Okay. Now, organic marketing can also encompass email marketing. Also, podcasts. But I wouldn't call that social media marketing on podcasts. It's still organic. If somebody listens to a podcast of yours and they say, hey, I want you to coach me, that's organic. I have not run ads for that. Does that make sense? Or being on your podcast, this is organic marketing. This is not really social media marketing because I don't think we call podcasts social media. Maybe some people do, but it's not like a platform. It's more a podcast, but it still is organic because I have not run ads. So say one of your listeners says, oh my gosh, I got to speak to that Jeanne Omlor, and they come to me and they book a call and I get a client. It's still organic, but it's not organic social media marketing. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's free for me.
Yeah. So the benefit is from, if I could say, the freeness of it, or it's just the word I've got is manipulation, and I don't mean that. I mean the use.
You have control over your marketing. I call it that. So basically, I know that I'm not throwing an ad up there and hoping people see my ad and hoping they click and hoping they like me.
Yeah.
People need to gain control over their marketing avenues. And organic social media marketing does that because you can post when you want. You can reach out to people. You can get them on a call. You are controlling your activities. And then you're seeing your numbers. You know that if you reach out to this, and we do the KPI trackers. So we say, okay, you need to reach out to this many people. And what happened? Oh, well, I reached out to 20 people and I got 1 sales call. Great. Well, now we know that every 20 people, you're going to get a sales call. Is that all you want? No, I want more, then double it. So you can control with your KPIs, key performance indicators.
Yeah.
Wow, what's going on, more or less. After a while, you do have patterns. You can see that.
Yeah.
So you have control that you want to go get a client. Great. Post on social media, offer stuff, reach out to people, create an event there. So you can get a lot of control over how many clients you get, how many calls, and then you have your call ratios. So after a while, you will have a scientific number of what you need to do to get a client.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a relevance to the human behavior, like the patterns of human behavior, where this is your ideal client or your ideal audience. This is what their behavior is going to be. This is how many people are likely to bite. So you almost take away the personal part of it, where they're like, oh, I don't think I like Gary that much to be able to purchase something from him. I don't mind the free content, but you end up targeting those types and styles of market. I read something yesterday. Actually, I listened to it on an audio book about the sales process, and what they said on the sales process was the buyer is under absolutely zero obligation to buy anything. Your job is to sell. And if you genuinely believe that this product is going to help them and help, move them forward, take them to another place, whatever the actual genuine reason for the sale is, then you have to do that. Like they are just sitting there saying, go ahead, it's up to you. And as I read that, and then thought about our interview today, I thought, like, what does that mean? And it sounds like, Jeanne, it's not one thing to one group or one person. It depends. Would that be fair?
There's so much stuff about selling, so many different philosophies. So we believe in heart-based sales, meaning we are going to figure out what it is. Why are you on this call? You're on this for a reason. Why?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have booked it. So we don't say that, but that's okay. Why are you here? What do you need? Okay, I want this. That's what you want. Okay, cool. Why aren't you getting that? Well, because I don't have blah, 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 blah. Great. Well, if I'm 100% sure that we can help you with what's missing, I'll tell you about what we do, and you can decide whether you want to invest or not. That's what I say. You can decide. I'm like, okay, so great. We're on this call. I want something. I don't know how to get it. Jeanne says she can help us get it somehow. There's going to be a price. Do I want to buy it or not? It's that simple. It's that simple. Really. That's all. If they really want it, they will buy it. If they trust you and they like you enough, some people have to like you enough, right? There is no, but they don't have to know you that well, because I don't agree with that. I can meet somebody. They've already done a deep dive. They've seen all the testimonials. They've been all over stalking me. Good. They've seen I'm on 1 million podcasts. They've seen I have over 100. So they know this woman's visible. She's trackable. She's not somebody that's going to run for my money because she has a podcast with top people on it. So that's for them. It's like, okay, there's this podcast. She's on a bunch of podcasts. You just have to Google me. She's all over social media. This is not a fly-by-night person. And I just looked at her hundreds of testimonials, which you can't fake those. Okay. Hundreds. So they're already, okay, I kind of know. Now, some people just meet me on LinkedIn and they go, yeah, let's have a 15-minute chat. I'm like, sure. They've done a little bit. They're like, oh, okay, I see what she does. Sure, I want to talk with her to see maybe if I want to hire her. Some people who hardly know me at all sign up for my year program in 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they're like, wow, this sounds great. I love it. I did check those. Yeah, okay, I want to do it. There's all this philosophy about how humans act. And a lot of it is wrong. Because when I hear, oh, you have to have 8 touch points. Well, that's funny. That guy met me once for 15 minutes and said I'm in. That breaks every rule. So when you learn all that sales stuff and it says you have to have 8 touches before, well, if you're going to believe that, then you will have 8 touches. Yeah. Because I don't believe that. And I think every human being is different. And I've had experiences of people not even wanting a sales call. They see me in a group, do a bit of due diligence, go into my DM and go, I'm hiring you. I don't need a sales call. Where do I send? How do I pay? Well, I haven't even met them. They just saw me in a group, looked and thought, wow, looks great. I want it. So we have to ignore a lot of the rules, or the rules hold you back, because that is now your frame. Yes. Now you've agreed to those rules because they wrote a book on it. Well, they just wrote the book to sell the book and get you into their Sandler selling system or whatever they're selling, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go further now. Dan Sullivan believes that we are never selling. He says top people are always the buyer. So, and I thought that's true, because when somebody comes in and they want to work with me, I don't work with everybody. I'm actually the buyer. I'm not going to say yes. And the people coming on the call, they're not understanding. This is a meeting to see if we fit. Okay. It is not Jeanne trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
They don't get that sometimes. Sometimes they do get it, because I'll say to them, hey, this is really to see if we're a good fit. And they're like, oh, I don't have all the power. They don't.
Yeah.
Because some people go, okay, I want to do this. And I'm thinking, this is not a fit. I can see the trouble already written all over the wall, trouble client. Because let's face it, all of us have trouble clients. It's seeing when that's going to be a trouble before you sign them up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't think this person's going to do the work. So I'll gently say, well, okay, well, let's think about it. And they're thinking, what? You're thinking about it? Let's go both think about it on both sides. And if we think about it and we think it's a good fit, then we can. And then they're realizing, I got to save face. So then they then email me and go, oh, yeah, I've decided I'm not going to work with you. I'm like, okay, good. No problem. Makes sense? Because you always want to let people save face. Always be gracious. Yeah. So I would never say, oh, no, I don't want to coach you. Ever. Would never, ever do that. Ever. Yeah. I'd say, hey, let's both go and both think about if this is a good fit and blah, 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 blah. And, have any questions and blah, blah, blah. And they usually get the drift. Oh, this is not a fit for her. Okay. Yeah, that is not all the time that happens. Now, also, I've had people come in and pay in full for the year, which is $35,000. I'll just let you know. Yeah. There's a lot. We coach people on how to start a podcast, monetize, leverage their book, get highly paid speaking gigs. There's a lot in the year, as well as the organic. Okay. Somebody paid, and I gave him his money back because I saw the writing on the wall. And he started coaching him, and I thought, this is going to be a problem. I said, here, you know what? I'm going to give you your money back. And he's like, what? I said, yeah, I just, I don't think this is going to work. There's a lot of demands here that were not in the contract, like very unreasonable demands. And I just thought, this is not going to work. I'm sorry. You're a great guy, but I don't think we're the one. Here's your $35,000 back. Oh, wonderful. You see, so I'm the buyer. I proved that. I'm the buyer. I just wanted to have a good Christmas. I wanted to have a stressless Christmas. And I thought, this might actually affect the level of my happiness and joy at Christmas. Yeah. Nothing is worth that to me. I'm good. I'm good. So I realize I am the buyer. Yeah. As well. Yes, they're buying, but I'm also the buyer. And when you get to that level where you're always the buyer, you have a lot of power. Yeah. They might not know that you see yourself as the buyer, but they sense on the sales call, this person is absolutely not desperate. Yeah. And it's really just seeing, are we a fit? That's good sales.
Yeah, that's so powerful, Jeanne. And I wonder, was it always that way? Like in the very early days, you're kind of like, oh, I just need a client, just one client that would help me get a good Christmas. It would help me, feed the girls and have a good time. To get to that point where you're thinking, I don't want to waste your time or my time. I don't want to waste your money or my money. I don't want to, there's just some times when it's not a fit. But, how different is that Jeanne today from Jeanne in the early days?
Very different. Very different. Because let's be real. All of us at some point are desperate for a client. Yeah. Because none of us were born in this world with clients. I remember I told you I was in deep debt. So when I got online, I was in deeper debt. I was desperate for this to work because I thought, if this doesn't work, what do I do with my life? Yeah. I can't go back offline. That wasn't working anymore. I can't get a job. I have 2 children. How am I going to get a job where I can get time off to go pick them up from school? Like most jobs make you work till 5. And also, how can I get a job when I haven't worked in years? And you're either underqualified or overqualified. I'm not going to get some job at Walmart. So no offense to people working at Walmart. It's not my mission, right? To work at Walmart. I'm not dissing it. It's not my mission. So, and also it's not enough money for me. So I was thinking, wow, this has to work. This must work. I was desperate. But I learned how to sell and put my emotions aside. for the sales call. So I've been upset about stuff. There've been stuff going on with my kids that are upsetting right before a sales call. I've been stressed out, depressed, tired, desperate, but I know how to put all of that aside and to turn up to serve. And that is the key. We all have life problems. We all get upset about things. Could be your spouse, could be a kid, could be anything. But I would take a moment. This is about the client. Serve the client. Is this a good fit for the client and me? And then I would clear. You spend at least a minute before you go into a sales call, clear any stress, because you don't want to dump that on the client.
Yeah.
So I would always just take a moment. And then once I'm on a call, I do have an alter ego, which is the voracious life changer. And I go into that, and it's not about me at all. Not one bit. Because I go into that, it overrides all that. And I never came across as desperate because it was all about them all the time. But then sometimes I'd get the client, and after the fact, I'd be like, oh, wow, I actually just made some money. But it wasn't the goal on the call, because then they feel that. It's about serving. Is this a fit? Can I help you? Great, this is the price. And I got to a point where it was a very good situation, where it's after the call, oh, I got the client. Oh, and actually I did make some money. That is a good place to be in. If it's about, oh, it's money, sell, people feel that. It's got to be about serve. Is this a fit? Can we really help them? Yes, we can. Okay, here it is. You want to do it or not? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Great. What are your objections? There's always objections. Well, this. Well, I will fight for them to not stay in a stuck position. I will fight for them, and I will blast away all minor objections, like that are really not real. But if there's like a real reason why they can't do it, I'm like, yeah, I see your point. I'm not going to fight with my mom's really sick. Yeah, you can't do this right now. You're taking care of your mom. I get it. When do you want to talk? Yeah. But people that always try to get past objection and handle them, you shouldn't be handling them. People have real reasons why, legitimate reasons sometimes, why they can't start right away. If you don't listen to that, well, I don't know what to say. That's just heartless.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, lame thing, stay in my stuckness and fear, I'm going to say, wait a minute. I thought you said that blah, 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 blah. I did. Yeah, I see your point. Okay, I do want to do it. Makes sense?
Yeah.
So you're fighting for them where it's legitimate, and you are understanding and loving when they have an actual life situation where there's no way. And that's really annoying when you say to somebody, well, I can't do this now because, my mom's dying. Oh, well, she's going to die anyway, so you should start. I mean, that'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
Or, my kid, blah, 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 or I'm sick and I'm still not well at all. Well, we got to make sure till you're better, for sure. Yeah. What do you want to do? You have to be compassionate with people and understand that I wouldn't want that if I was like, oh, I have this thing actual going on, and oh, that's okay. No, you just literally dissed what a big life thing going on right now. I've had people do that on sales calls. And I'm just like, wow, it was not a dumb objection. It was a real reason. Stuff's going on. And you were like, totally didn't listen because you just want me to pay you the money. Yeah. That's a horrible salesperson, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so, I'm going to use the word again, powerful. The ability to be able to see where the person's at, to say, are we a good fit? As you say, you're the buyer, to say, this is not the right fit right now, which might end up creating more demand where they're saying, actually, I am, you're not, and the biggest word you used there a number of times, Jeanne, was service, and was that always part of your makeup, part of your offering, part of your DNA to go always. And say, listen, this is it has to be in service of you. If it's not
always. Yeah. It is a disaster if you are working with somebody as a coach or a service provider or even a product,
right?
And it's not a fit, because always, I want to have a good life. I don't want to work with somebody that clearly is going to be a problem client. It's upsetting. It ruins your life. It ruins your weekends because you're thinking about the problem client, and it's not worth it to have problem people in your life. Now, I had problem people in my life that were not clients. I don't want that anymore. It was ruined my life to have problem people in my life. So it was always in service, but also in service of me. Is this going to be a real problematic client? Now, I had problematic clients, which I wasn't sure they were going to be problematic. And then they were. And I thought, well, they were paying me a lot. And that's when I didn't have a lot of money. I thought,
Yeah.
well, it's not that bad. And it wasn't that bad. So I thought, it was worth it. So, but they weren't that bad. Makes sense? Bit of a problem, but I could manage it. But there are nightmare clients that just make your life hell. And, I don't want those. And so I'm just saying this because I think it has to be said, and people don't talk about that a lot. All of us have bad clients, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
It's human. It's normal. All businesses have clients that are not premium clients as far as behavior, because we're dealing with a lot of human beings. And I don't hear people talk about that a lot. I just want to make sure everything is so. Now, at the moment, we have all amazing clients. Why? I've gotten really good at this. I've gotten really good at making sure that everybody that comes in is a stellar client. That they get along. We get along with them. They're great. They do the work. They're awesome. That's a skill.
Yeah. And developed over time, to say, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that. And it's incredible. It's so, for me anyway, uplifting to hear that, to say you never said this is my words, but there's no amount of money that's going to get this relationship to the place where you need it to be. So I'd rather you keep your money or spend it elsewhere. You're not going to get what you think you need from me, because what you think you need is actually not what you need in the first place, and getting that. It's, I guess, taking the power back, back to the, Jeanne, is going to decide whether this is a fit or not. And if it is, then we'll see. And if it's not, and I wonder if that ends up creating, is that the organic part? Is that we're looking like, well, wait a minute, I thought I was going to decide, but you're the one who's deciding. That's odd.
It's rare that this happens. It's rare, because usually people self-select. They're usually thinking, I don't know if I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. So that's a rarer occasion. Usually they're just like, well, I really want to do it, but I can't right now. Okay, great. Don't. I rarely get somebody on the phone where it's like not a fit, because I'm very careful to not get on calls with people that I know are not a fit. So very rare situation at this point, because I've qualified before the call.
Yeah.
Now, one guy self-selected the other day, saw a couple of questions, canceled the call. He said, I don't think we're a fit. And I said, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like the fact that I charge money for my services. Well, I said, yeah, it's going to cost you money. So he said, well, I don't want to deal with somebody like that. I thought, okay. Thought it was going to be free. That's interesting. So I'm glad I didn't waste that call, because that's unreasonable, because he charges for his services as a coach. And I didn't say that, but I was thinking, let's just leave that one.
Yeah. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, as a coach myself, and you and I have chatted about this before, it's literally, to me, unbelievable that people would be like, what do you mean? There's a cost for this? I thought we're pals. I thought we were just going to, kind of jive it a wee bit here, and then I would get to what I need to get to, and maybe I might mention your name some other time, or maybe I might not. Really, that's what you thought. That's it's the thing that people are willing to invest in, and the thing that they're not willing to invest in, which is ultimately themselves.
Right. And again, I don't want to go to the negative part. This is rare. I think we're kind of focusing a lot on the rare thing. Okay, so very rare. But the whole point was, we should all develop the mindset that we are always the buyer, even when we are selling something as well. That doesn't mean to tell them, hey, I'm the buyer. It just means to keep your personal power in the situation.
Yeah.
That's all. Most people are lovely. Most people are ultra qualified before they even get on a call with us. They really want the service. They've done a deep dive. It's just, can we do this or not? And what's the price? That's usually it. And I tell them, hey, you want to know that now? Sure, I'll tell you now. So there's no trickery going on in my sales calls. And people thank me all the time. They say, thank you so much for just telling me transparently without making me run around. Why would I do that? That's a bad salesperson.
Yeah.
People see right through that. They're tired of that.
Yeah.
I just told you it's $35,000 for my year.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, we have an ROI match. So people have to make 35K or we got to keep coaching them at no extra cost.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a process, obviously, that works.
Exactly.
A good friend of mine was in sales for the longest time. And he said, get the price out of the way in the beginning and then just start to talk about the service, start to talk about the impact, start to talk about, what's next. This is the price and I'm going to tell you why, and it sounds like that's exactly what you've got
Again,
going
that's
on.
another sales philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't follow sales philosophies because I think it really just depends. My philosophy is turn up, see what they want, see if you can help them, show them exactly, tell them exactly and the price, and they decide. That's the whole process.
Yeah.
Not when or how. Or I think there's a lot of tactical selling going on. Like, so that's a tactic too. Tell them up front. That's a tactic.
Yeah.
I just tell them when it's the right time in the call.
Yeah.
If they ask, I say, sure, it's this. Great. Thanks for telling me. Now, can you tell me more about it? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you get rich, so you're still thinking in tactics. That's what I'm seeing here. Like they said this and I heard this. If you get to a point where it is not tactical at all, you don't care about tactics. You don't care about listening to sales podcasts because it's tactics. There are no tactics. That's the way to sell. You just come to it, do your script of, okay, what do you want? This is what we do. They ask for the price. Sure. Here's the price. Great. Can we continue? Sure. Great. Or they don't ask, or at some point they don't ask. You just tell them. Sometimes they don't even ask me. I say, do you want me to tell you? Oh, yeah, sure. So the whole point is to get rid of tactical thinking on a sales call. That's the tactic. No tactics.
Yeah, just be.
Stop listening to sales podcasts on how to manipulate people. That's the tactic. I'm serious. That's what's broken. Is all this sales tactics and well, we're really going to have you manipulate that person by telling them at this point in the call and then at this. It's all tactics. What if you got rid of that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of it altogether.
100%. And it sounds like the types and style of people that you would speak to now or not would be the people that are educated, learned. You've got enough information on your website to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how we will do it. If you're still interested, come here and then we'll have an actual genuine conversation and we'll see how it goes.
Right. They already know something about me that they booked a call.
Yeah.
We've had a conversation with them on social media already, or they found my website. So no, it's not like, who are you? They already know. They know what they need. They filled out a questionnaire telling me what they need.
Yeah.
Okay. And they said whether they want to invest in a coach or not. Yeah. If they say no, absolutely not, we will reach out and say, look, this is a sales call. So they wanted free coaching on the call. Yeah. I don't literally have that much time, no offense, to just coach a bunch of people for free on a so-called sales call. So it's very important to be clear about intention on both ends. Why are we on this call? Well, you're on call because you potentially want to hire us. Yes. Well, no, not really. I just want to get some free coaching. In that case, let's cancel it because this is not the purpose of a sales call, is to give you coaching that won't help you, because it's like giving them a tiny part of a puzzle that's not going to serve them. Again, it's not serving. To give them a tiny part. And I say that we can't serve you on a call, and it's not a coaching call. So, and a lot of people do that. That's why we have the questionnaire. And we gently say, well, listen, are you no, I have no money at all. I'm never going to hire a coach. Boom. Let's cancel this, because now they've told us their intention. You have to have an application-based philosophy. Why? Because I'm the buyer.
Yeah.
And the seller. Makes sense?
Yeah, 100%. It really does. And it's so timely, as I said, reading that book yesterday and then listening to your philosophy overall. It's something I don't think I quite had that mindset, where it's like almost, we'll figure out a way that we can do this together, rather than saying, wait a second, I have a product, I have a system, I have a process, I have a way that I can serve you. I'm not 100% sure yet whether you need that, whether you're ready for that, whether you're willing to subscribe or invest in that. Let's just see how it goes. And it's really giving me pause for thought in terms of what the sales call actually is as well. And it sounds like over time you've got it down. There's not a lot of wasted time. You've mentioned that
It's so
before.
simple. When you stop doing mind machinations, in life, when you don't try to manipulate people, your life is easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a sales call, I don't go in with anything but, hi, I saw your thing. This is what you want. Great. Okay. What do you think you need help with? Well, I need help with this and this. Great. Or I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, let's figure that out. Okay. I give them a plan. I show them exactly what we do. I even share on a Zoom our whole system.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm really clear on that. Thank you for accepting. Great, great. Do you want to hear how you can work with us? Sure. Great. Here it is. This costs this program. And then the year is 35K. Do you want to do this or not? I really do want to do this. Great. Okay. Let's do it then. Boom. Or, oh no, I can't do it. I don't have any money. Okay. Well, then why are we on this call?
Yeah.
And I'll joke about that sometimes. They're like, well, because I really do. I just got to figure out the finances. I'm like, great. Okay. Do you want to talk again? Blah, blah, blah. Or do you want me to help you figure out the finances? They're like, yes, I do want. And I help them figure out finances because I'm a ninja at figuring out finances. You know that.
Because you've done it.
Right. Well, we got to talk again, by the way. But the point is, when you go in and you're not trying to manipulate somebody, you're just going in pure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go talk to this person. Simple. There's nothing to remember about that podcast or the book or anything. That's manipulation. And people feel it. So when I speak to another human being that's potentially interested, they feel free with me. They're thinking, wow, she's just talking to me. There's no trickery. And they've even said that. You're not trying to trick me, or I loved this call. I felt respected. I'm like, yeah, because we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
You've got to stop listening to the sales gurus about how to literally, it's how to manipulate other people.
Yeah.
But come and pay us for us to help you manipulate other people. That's not a good way to be. We should stop it. Just stop it. People love you. They know what you're doing and they need it, and they can rustle up the money. Let them do it. If they don't want to, let them do whatever they want. That's what I say. Let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the Best You podcast, and what I try to give every single viewer and listener is the opportunity to find out about what Jeanne does to daily, weekly, monthly, regularly to be the best version of yourself. What is one thing that you do regularly that gives you the best opportunity to be the energetic person that you are?
Okay, I do a lot. Okay, I pray every day.
Right.
I try to do meditation every day, but that doesn't always happen. I do morning mindset, and I do a lot of exercise. I have a personal trainer that does 2 days a week, just an hour, like weights. I watch what I eat. I just finished a 22-day no sugar challenge where I didn't have anything at all sweet, which was hard for me. So I watch what I eat. I eat well. I walk a lot. I play tennis. I ride a bike. I work out. I stay active and I do other things like my art. So I have other interests. I go to church. I have friends at church. I sing at my church choir. So I have I have 2 children. So I have a life where it's not all about business. Of course, we serve our clients and I do a lot of work, but it's not balanced every day, but you have to have other interests. So I've started painting a bit more now, sing at my choir at the church, which is great because it's outlet. I pray every day, do walking, some exercise for my mental health. And also I am working towards my longevity and being healthier and healthier. So I do a lot, mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about business, is it now?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all in service of your service.
Right. Well, what's the point having a successful business if I'm unhealthy and don't have a good relationship with my kids or my family or God or my body? So all of this, and you might not do it all at once. Also, I'm artistic, and I have to have some artistic output as well. I didn't do that for a while because I was so busy. That's okay. I knew I'd get back to it. But I feel I have a pretty overall balanced life. Not all in one day, though. Balance doesn't come in a day, right?
Yeah.
Kind of balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Where can people find out a bit more about Jeanne?
Well, they can go to my website, jeanneomlor.com/reviews, has all those wonderful client stories. And I'm all over the social media. So LinkedIn, Jeanne Omlor, Instagram, Jeanne Omlor, Facebook, Jeanne Omlor. I'm all over the place. Also, I have a podcast called Business Wealth Impact.
Business Wealth Impact. I'll put all those links on the show notes for this particular podcast. Jeanne, thank you very, very much. I love your energy. I love your drive. I love your story. And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of that. Hopefully we'll get a chance to chat again sometime.
Absolutely. Gary, thank you so much for having me on the show.